If you really wanted to trade this, right, we would be trading our white elephant baseline or the 200 against this top resistance. So, right, we could have said, okay, on this break, we're going to go long, and we would have caught a pretty good one once we got close to here. Hey there. Welcome to your daily dose of elephant wisdom for Sunday, February 27th, 2022. All right, today we're going to do sort of more of a low time frame special. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin, of course, but we'll pop around the market pretty quickly here and there, and we'll see how everything looks on our lower time frame. So right now we are on top of our elephant support. This is our white baseline, one of the three tridents. We are below multiple levels, the other two levels here. But on the 1 hour, on the low time frame, this is our 200-hour line here. And we are, you can see, kind of bouncing between these. Now, the big number here that we've been talking about is this 38.7 here, where it established back on, I believe, the 18th of February. Yep, so about a week and a half ago. And we weren't sure, when you're charting, and this is 1 hour again, so this is basically a day here, does that actually have significance or not? So when you do a lot of technical analysis, you'll throw a lot of lines up there. You might discard them later as they'll prove, kind of useless. Meaning they don't really provide resistance or support. And then sometimes you find ones that do well. And then sometimes you find one like this one that does well, but it does need a little adjustment. So you can see our bodies here kind of came up to the 37.8 area. And when I'm charting back here, we were wicking, we were kind of doing the bottom wicks here, trying to cover that range. But it looks like, right, that this should be about $100 higher. So what we're going to do is we'll just kind of slide that puppy here, and we're going to slide it right to right about there. That's about 39.8. And that's sort of been proving to be more realistic resistance. And that's the number to crack. And really, it's not that big a deal. When you do a line, it's usually not going to be perfect. You'll have some wicks that go through it. But as long as the bodies and the majority kind of holds, we're pretty good. So again, we're on the hourly. We do have some pretty set resistance here at 39.8. And we are now 38.9. So again, we've rallied. And if you really wanted to trade this, right, we would be trading our white elephant baseline or the 200 against this top resistance. So, right, we could have said, okay, on this break, we're going to go long, and we would have caught a pretty good one. Once we got close to here, we're out. Comes back down again. You can either short or just sort of wait, kind of depending on how aggressive you want to be there. But you could see we, can wait to here again. Once we see that test on that green day, probably, that's a buy. Up we go again. Are we going to go off to the races? No, we're not, because we're not going to, we didn't hold and retest like we said yesterday we need to really establish confirmation. So we short here again, right, at resistance. We long at support. We short at resistance. We long at support. We're shorting at resistance here a couple hours ago, right? And now we're going to wait. We've seen this go here. Now, the one slightly troubling thing that you might see here, right, is this is sort of forming a downtrend. So we are seeing lower highs. So we're seeing that happen. And we're also seeing lower lows. So that may or may not be forming a channel, right, that we could be looking to trade again. So if we're holding with this hypothesis of our two green support and resistance lines we just drew, right now, I'm going to be waiting. I'm not going to be doing much here. I'm going to let this come down to our 200, or if I really believe our green theory, kind of closer to here. And then that's where I might enter a long, short-term long, and see if I can catch something coming back up. So that's kind of how you would play these things. But again, you have to be extremely adaptable, pretty mobile. So you have to, a good trader isn't in love with the theory. You're in love with the market action. So I don't have a theory that Bitcoin's going to $100,000 this year. It may. I don't have a theory that it's going to $8,000 either. It may. So you have to just sort of let the market, kind of tell you what to do. And an elephant wisdom saying is the market is the author and we are the readers. So a lot of influencers and a lot of traders try to tell the market what to do. You just have to be adaptable. I have to be able to move some lines around if it's warranted, and I have to be able to establish some new ones on the go. And then I have to have a little faith and trade those actually. And again, when we trade these lower time frames, very important to remember, we're in and out pretty quickly. So again, these moves, this was maybe an 8-hour move here. So that's a little longer. But a lot of times you'll get like a 1-hour wick, and that'll be enough. And again, depending on your goals, if your goal is to make 20% a trade, and you do that a few times in a row, you'll be doubling your money. So that's kind of how you want to play these low time frame situations. All right, let's move along here. We'll take a look at Ethereum on the hourly. And again, still on my little drawer. So on the hourly, it's looking similar to Bitcoin, right? We kind of have a couple of waves, come down, coming back up again. I don't have that same line drawn on the Ethereum chart. Let's see if that would actually, I remember February 18th was the day, so that was here. So, yeah, so I could almost do something here similar to Bitcoin, where I would take kind of this high here and bring something over, and we could see what that looks like. And I'm just going to leave that for now, and we'll come back to it at a later date, and we'll see if that holds up. But it's just that simple and easy, you guys. So again, you're not saying everything you do is correct. You have to be able to delete it and adjust it, and to change your bias at any moment. So this is kind of what we're looking at here on Ethereum. On the 1 hour, probably would, if you're doing nothing now, I would continue to do nothing. It's probably at the moment, right, you would expect it maybe to come back and retest, or maybe it already did an hour ago and it's coming back up. Who knows, right? But, I would be looking right now for it maybe to cascade down a little bit. And again, like Bitcoin, if you wanted to enter a quick long here, it's a good R&R, risk-reward situation, and you would just have a very tight stop loss below it. Let's see here. Let's check out Chainlink. Again, very similar. We are seeing this on the 1 hour again. So again, pretty low time frame. Indicator cross, which is bullish here. So we'd like to see that continue. But it's important to note on the high time frames, it is not bullish. We're below these indicators. Let's check out Cardano. Same. We're above, but a little worse for wear, right? Where the other coins had some life above. We're still smothered here a little bit. Algo, same situation. And this would be a good situation here, guys, when you see something like this, right? This would be maybe a long situation or a buy situation. And again, tight stop losses. But you could let it come down maybe a little bit here to test that support. Or maybe it already has, right? But again, we are hopefully to continue this sort of uptrend that we're seeing here and not have a downtrend coming here. Toecoin, it's been kind of sputtering below the 006 number for a while, and you can see why. Everything's getting pressed. Now this is just starting to cross, right? We saw the other coins. Let's check out Ethereum again. When this already did cross 2 days ago, and then we saw a nice pop off that. So what we would be looking for here is hopefully the same cross on Telcoin. This will sort of get a little distance here, and subsequent price action should raise as a result. That's kind of what we'd be looking for in a perfect world. Axie Infinity, we talked about that the other day, and you can see many coins are looking the same, right? So we're looking very similar here on the hourly. Let's take a look at Avalanche. That's been doing pretty nicely. And hourly again, we're getting down here to where we might want to go a little bit of a long trade. And I keep saying it, but tight stop losses below. The Sandbox has been one of our favorites. Not at the moment. We are below even the 1 hour, so that's taken a pretty decent fall from grace here. But on the daily, it actually looks a little bit better. Shiba, same idea. You can see it just can't crack. But this white, again, when the white crosses a blue, our white elephant wisdom is a shorter term indicator, a lower time frame than the 200 here, which is the blue line. So when that does cross, that is bullish. And let's see if price responds accordingly. Near protocol we talked about yesterday, and we saw that cross here. We saw some subsequent price action, and now the bounce off it, right? So you can see this is where we love our elephant indicator. It's really providing real-time resistance and support. And you can see we do have our base down here at 862-ish, 20 cents where we are now. So you could wait for down here a little bit lower, which I would probably advise, and then that would be another buy opportunity. So again, if we sort of sum up the whole day, right, we're kind of in the middle right now. So we're not at the top, we're not at the bottom on most of these coins. We're kind of right in the middle. And if it rises, that would be a shorting opportunity, or you want to take a little profit. And if it drops, that would be a time to buy or enter a long trade with some tight stop losses. All right, that'll do it for your low time frame hourly chart review. Please like and subscribe. We appreciate you guys hanging in there with us. This is Mark, signing off.